Welcome back. Today marks the 50th year of World Astronomy Day, celebrating all the weird and wonderful things about the night sky.
Joining us now from Astronomy Ireland is David Moore to tell us exactly what to be looking out for. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Great pleasure.
I throw back to like my leaving cert days, my junior cert days, Sean O'Casey, and what is the stars? And that's what we want to know. What is the sky today? Tell us.
What's in there?
Just want to know everything about the universe.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy enough.
In a few minutes, just as concisely as you can, if you don't mind.
There's a number of ways of approaching it. You could start to talk about big bangs and the like, or what you can see in the sky. So at the moment, if people want to go out, because it is International Astronomy Day and people want to look at things, over in the west, where the sun goes down, as soon as it gets dark, in fact, before it's even fully dark, you'll see a bright star blazing in the west. You can't miss it. It's 100 times brighter than all the real stars in the sky, and it's the planet Venus.
All right.
I think we have some pictures I might have taken of it near clusters to show.
There's Venus, wow.
That's actually Venus, and this is a spacecraft picture. It shows you what it really looks like. You'll see a dot, but if you go close to it, it's about 150 million kilometres away tonight. You'll see it's covered in clouds, even worse than Ireland.
Wow.
It's 100% cloudy all the time. Would have made your old forecasting job very easy.
What kind of clouds? Are they, obviously, they're not like clouds like we have.
No.
Would you die?
The atmosphere on Venus is, we're worried about carbon dioxide. It's about 1 part in 2,000 of the air we're breathing, and we're worried about that. On Venus, it's 95%.
Whoa.
So the greenhouse effect's gone through the roof. So when you're looking at it, it looks beautiful and serene, named after the goddess of beauty. But in fact, it's 500 Celsius on the surface.
Oh, my God.
So tin and lead would melt as liquids on the ground, and there's sulfuric battery acid in the clouds.
So we're third rock from the sun. What's Venus?
Second.
Second.
Yeah. So it's about 2/3 our distance, so it shouldn't be that hot. In fact, Mercury is twice as close as Venus, and yet it's a little bit cooler because it hasn't got this carbon dioxide atmosphere. So a lesson for the greenhouse effect.
Absolutely. So we're looking to the skies tonight. Can we see stuff with the naked eye, or do we need the help of some of the stuff that you've got?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's throwing me on this is try to get ordinary people looking at the sky. You don't need a telescope. If you do get a telescope, you start with binoculars. Right. They are actually two small telescopes side by side, and they're lens telescopes, so you go by how wide they are. The wider this lens, the more light it's collecting to cram into your eye. So you've got the monster behind you there, which is 11 inches wide. That collects about 3,000 times more light than your eye.
How clearly can we see the planets, let's say in the solar system, with that particular gigantic creature over there?
Well, we take these out for the public regularly, and there's one big event in the Wicklow Mountains every September. It's the 9th of September this year, Starbecue, Ireland's biggest annual star party, a barbecue under the stars, and there'll be dozens of these. And you're in a dark sky as well, so already you can see more, and then add in a factor of 3,000, and you'll see the disks of the planets. We'll have Jupiter and Saturn with its rings in September.
So you can actually see the rings itself through
easily.
This. Yeah.
In fact, you can see rings within rings on a good clear night with this kind of telescope.
So the further away from any light pollution, I suppose, is where we want to be as well. So away in the middle of nowhere is best if you want to look at the stars properly.
For faint objects, I sent a few pictures of galaxies and the like, and you can't really see those from the city. But the planets you could see from the middle of Dublin or Cork or anywhere else. They're that bright.
This is with the naked eye?
Yeah, this is actually a snap just taken with a big telescope behind you a few nights ago. And this is the Whirlpool Galaxy. So our Milky Way galaxy looks a bit like this, only this one is 25 million light years away. So that's what it looked like 25 million years ago.
So how many stars? This is a galaxy, so how many stars are we looking at here?
Yeah, it looks like a cloud, but in fact it's made up of 1 trillion individual stars, roughly speaking. So it's about 100,000 light years across. So if one star exploded on the far side, the stars on the other side, if there were people on them, wouldn't see the light for 100,000 years. So things get really crazy in astronomy.
But you know what, doesn't it make you feel really, really small? Because anytime I have a problem, a friend of mine told me once, zoom out and like pretend you're in a star far, far away and see how important that problem really is. And when you look at how kind of insignificant we are, it really kind of brings it all home.
That picture we were just looking at, was that taken with this?
It was, yeah, with that and this camera here about a week ago.
Okay. Can I just ask, pounds, shillings and pence, how much would that cost you?
The first thing is, you don't need a telescope for astronomy. That's of the top range. It's like the Ferrari of telescopes. 5,000 euros to buy them new.
For that one?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a small one, a 5-inch, around the 1,000 mark. Yeah. And there's a one, this one here, which I actually built myself from parts.
Oh, wow.
They're about 500 quid to buy one of those new. It's about 20, 30 years old now. But this one has a mirror, so you take the cap off the front, the light goes down, hits a curved mirror, comes back up, hits a flat mirror, goes out the side, and that's where you view.
And you made this yourself?
Yes, now I didn't make the mirror. They're made extremely accurate. They're made
have to be
in a
very
lab
precise,
in England. And you can buy those online easily. And if you need advice on any of this, there's a web page on our website.
If
and
you're
we can
starting, like I'd love to get into this. I've been fascinated by it for years, but I often think, how do you even go about beginning? Do you need a book to tell you what stars are? I mean, I remember my dad trying to teach me what the different constellations were when I was young, when it was when the sky was particularly good for it. But like, how would you advise someone like me to go about it?
I think we have a graphic of how to find the plough and then the North Star. And you do a thing called star hopping. Well, this is a picture I took of Mars near the Seven Sisters star cluster down here at the bottom. Mars has moved a bit to the upper left, and it's in the evening sky as well. It'll be near the moon on the 23rd of May. This is the plough. I think
it's the only one I can find.
Yeah, most people can find this in the sky. It's 7 quite bright stars in a familiar pattern. We call it the plough. It really looks like a Big Dipper.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you allow your eyes to be drawn to the brightest stars so that you can form
the top 7. Forget the faint ones. And if we have the next graphic, I think you'll see that if you take the 2 end stars, they'll point up to the North Star. There we are. So there's the plough. Oh, this is actually to find Leo.
Yeah.
So the North Star, you follow these 2 stars up. To find Leo, so a lot of people will heard of Leo, you follow those 2 stars down about a length of plough and a bit, and you come to a very bright star, Regulus, the brightest star in Leo, and that almost does look like a lion sitting crouched on the ground.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And when we're talking about that, these stars are particularly bright. Like they put the sun pales into insignificance when it comes to these, doesn't it?
The sun is actually a slightly below average star, so most of the stars you can see there are actually bigger than the sun, but very far away. We're about 1 million times closer to the sun than we are to the other stars. So it looks important, and they don't. But they're all bigger or smaller versions of the sun, crushing atoms together at their cores to make them light up, and the temperature shoots up to ridiculous 15 million degrees Celsius or higher.
Oh my goodness! And these, we've got binoculars and the smaller ones and everything else, but my God. So tonight, would that be a good night? What are the forecasts for us?
I don't do weather forecast. That's Martin's job.
No, not anymore.
Would you start
Derek
these tonight?
was saying there was some chances of clear skies tonight. And the Irish weather is so changeable.
Yeah.
Last night there was a lovely break in the clouds. It was mostly cloudy, and there was Venus with the moon and Mars halfway between the two. And that'll roughly be the case tonight. You'll see the moon very high up, it's well placed for next week. Venus blazing in the west, and in the middle is Mars. But Get Astronomy On's magazine has simple diagrams aimed at the naked eye view, and it's for people who don't even have binoculars.
The Dummy's Guide, we have it here as well.
With the naked eye.
Yeah.
Go to astronomy.ie. You'll get free predictions for the International Space Station, which will be flying over this month. 7 astronauts on board that, very bright, the planets and everything else.
Thank you so much. And of course, you can learn more about the wonderful world of astronomy with Astronomy Ireland at the website astronomy.ie.
Up next, the fabric your summer wardrobe won't be without. No matter how hard you try to avoid it, fashion is after the break.